Hey, Troy. Welcome to Cleveland.
Hey, how
Um,
you doing, Dan?
good, good. First of all, I guess what does it mean to be reunited with John Johnson III?
It's gonna be exciting to be out there and be reunited. I know what he gonna bring to the table, and he know what I'm bring to the table. So I mean, it's exciting. It's gonna be epic out there in Cleveland. So we looking forward to it.
After he signed, did he do any recruiting of you at all?
Uh, he didn't even know. I was just telling somebody else. It was funny because like a couple days before the signing or whatever, I hit him and was like, "Hey, what you think about going?" Blah blah blah. And he wasn't giving me no disclosures, so I'm like, "Man, you acting like I'm the media type thing. Like, man, you acting like I'm media. You don't want to give out." And then when I seen he sign with Cleveland, it was like, "Okay, you going back to the home state? Like, that's a good look for them. I'm happy for you." And when I got that opportunity and that deal came, my agent told me, I had texted JJ like, "Yo, I think I might have come to Cleveland," and he sent me the little emojis like this. So I mean, that kind of made everything easy for me.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot.
Hey, Troy, can you just talk about what it was like to, to grow up here in nearby Youngstown? And does this really kind of feel like a homecoming for you? Do you still have a lot of friends and family there? What was that all like?
It definitely felt like a homecoming. All my friends and family still, well, not all my friends, but like all my family still out there. A lot of my family, like blood relatives, is still out in Ohio, in Youngstown, or like Columbus. So, I mean, just being able to come back home and give them an opportunity to make more games, even though that's gonna hurt my pockets with all the tickets. But I mean, it's an exciting process for me, and I'm enjoying it and just growing up and knowing what Ohio football is and how much they cherish Ohio football and the fan base in Cleveland and everything that comes along with it. And I'm excited to be out here because I mean, it kind of reminds me of being a kid again and playing ball as a kid. So I mean, it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be fun.
Did you grow up as a Browns fan?
It's funny. I actually grew up as a Broncos fan because when I was little, Cleveland wasn't around at the time. Can you hear me? Did you hear me?
Yep.
Oh yeah, so
Yep.
Cleveland wasn't around at the time when I was young, and then they came back a little late. But majority of my family was like Browns and Pittsburgh fans, so I'm trying to bring them all together. So we're gonna see.
Thank you, Mary
Okay,
Kay.
thank you.
Nate Orrick, go ahead.
Hey Troy, staying on the Youngstown theme for a minute. Um, what was it like growing up there, and what took you out to California? I believe when you were 15.
It was a little tough, It's a low income city, so I mean, you kind of not really a lot of money being generated around there. I mean, and the ones who do got money is like, it's not really the right type. But like I say, it was tough. I mean, it's easy to become a product of your environment, but like at the same time, they all get through the adversity, and it built a foundation for me to be tough and to be able to handle different things. So I mean, I got nothing but respect for the city, and I love being from there because, like I say, like it gave me a foundation and a mindset to where it's like I know I came from this. I know I can make it anywhere. So that's kind of the type of mindset that it gave me. And I'm sorry I couldn't really remember the second part of that question.
Just what was it like, kind of starting fresh? I think you were 15, right, when you moved to
Yeah, I was 15 when I moved to California. So I mean, when you're 15, you really don't really understand everything that's going on through your mind. And like my whole thing was I was coming out there when I moved to California, my mindset was just go graduate. Football wasn't really my thing, even though I knew I was good at it. But like I end up like between it, I mean, I ended up failing my freshman year when I was in Ohio because I just wasn't really going to school, and I was kind of on that same route. The second year I was there, I probably would have dropped out or something if I was still in Ohio. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? When I went to California and I was surrounded by just a bunch of different people and different mindsets and things like that. It kind of like opened my eyes to a bigger picture. And ever since then, it's like I was telling my homeboy, like, yeah, Ohio gave me foundation, but California shaped my mind in a way to become a stronger person. So, I mean, and just all the life events that I went through just kind of just shaped me to become stronger. So that's where I was at with it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nate. Scott Petrick, you're next.
Hey, Troy, last year was the most you've played in the slot, right?
Yeah, in my career.
What was that transition like for you? And did you know you'd be as good as you wound up being?
It was definitely a transition for me because I mean the routes and things and like where I can funnel to my help and stuff is like that when I'm playing man or whatever, it all changed and things like that. But I mean, I never really knew how successful I could be. I just was up for the challenge type of thing. Like I turned myself as a football player, and I feel like right now, like, yeah, even though I had a good season, there's still so much more room for me to grow at that position. Like I'm still learning that position. I'm still fresh at it. So, I mean, I'm excited for what year 2 can bring for me. So just to keep on going type of thing, get a little more technique in there. That's where felt like I was really lacking at as far as my technique.
I know the Browns value your versatility, but do you expect to be in the slot this year?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. We'll go to Daryl Ryder.
You and JJ come from the Rams with the #1 pass defense this past season. What made you guys so good in the secondary, and how do you bring that with you over to Cleveland?
I mean, I feel like the whole secondary as a whole, I mean, it started with Jalen just being able to come out there and do his thing. And then, we all believed in each other. So, I mean, Darius Williams, me, JJ, Fuller, and even the ones who people don't recognize, we all had a belief in each other. And it was like anybody can come out there and be capable of having success because our preparation and stuff like that and the things that we do all throughout the week. So, I mean, just the work ethic and everything that came with it type of thing and the mentality really to want to be the best. That's where it really started at. But when you all believe in each other and you got that you want to see other people do well, that's kind of where I felt like really changed our secondary and made us what we is because we all took pride in that. And, when you like that, nobody want to be the weak link. So, I mean, you take pride in things like that.
And what do you know about Joe Woods' defense? And also, what made the Browns so appealing to you in free agency?
I know a little bit. I mean, we had Talib, and I think he was Talib coach in Denver. And I remember that, like, he just be talking about him like nothing bad or anything. So I kind of knew about him a little bit from that, just listening to them conversations he would have. And what made the Browns stand out to me is just the upbringing. Like, I mean, where they at right now and where I used to see them at when I was living in Ohio, watching them on them Sundays and just being able to see like, oh yeah, this program turning around and well, what other place would I want to be rather than home when they go win that Super Bowl? So that's kind of where I was at with it. Like, yeah, this is an opportunity for us to go win a Super Bowl. I mean, they missing a few pieces. They was a touchdown away from going to the AFC, you know what I'm saying, the AFC Championship. And it's like, all right, I see what they got over there. Come on, let me come over there and bring my challenge. And once I seen JJ come too, or like when I seen JJ come at the beginning, it was like, there's nothing more. Like I know what he gonna bring out there and in that secondary. So, and I actually, funny, I actually hit Terrence Mitchell, and he like, yeah, you would love it out there. So that kind of made the decision a lot easier too, along with my family and being close back to home.
Thank you, Daryl. Tom Withers will have our next question.
Thanks, Rob. Hey, Troy, nice to meet you, man. 3 TDs last year. You plan on building on that?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Hey, and you mentioned before playing with Jalen. What impact did he have on you going out there? I mean, that's a guy that's got a lot of confidence and a lot of skill. Did he really rub off on all you guys?
Uh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's just the type of mentality that you got. When you see somebody who the best in the league is doing it like this, of course, like, I don't care what nobody says, like, that's the best in the league. You're going to take things and do things that maybe might emulate in a situation, but you got to tweak it so it's, you know what I'm saying, original to you and it fit in your game. So, I mean, the ability that Jalen got and everything that he bring, his leadership and things like that, is like, yeah, he one of the best for a reason. He the best for a reason.
I suppose it doesn't hurt to have a guy like Aaron Donald in front of you. What about now playing with Miles here? What kind, how helpful is that to have such a strong edge rusher to help the secondary?
Exactly. It worked hand in hand. So, I mean, that make our job easier and we make their job easier too. So if we locking up back there, regardless, that gives them that extra second to get to the quarterback. Or if they sometimes, we in football and it's not a perfect world. So if we mess up or something and they get that sack before the quarterback can find it or put that pressure on them to throw a bad ball or something, that just go hand in hand. So I mean, I'm excited to get to work with everybody.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Tom. Fred Greetham, go ahead.
Hey, Troy, welcome to Cleveland. As far as what are some of the things you talked about a little bit, but what the potential you see in this defense with Denzel Ward opposite, you and Miles and the guys like John Johnson and Takaris McKinley and all the guys that have come. Can you just talk about the potential you see?
I see, man, there is no cylinder on what we can be. Obviously, on paper it's gonna always be good, but you gotta come in and put the work in every day, and that's what I'm excited about, is to put the work in and then look up at the end of the season and see what we did and see how good we was. But like, I think that we can be one of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. So, I mean, but like I say, we gotta come in and put the work in and show out every Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Jeff Shadell, go ahead.
Hey, Troy, thanks for doing this. Did you know Denzel Ward before this, and what kind of communications have you guys had since you've signed here?
I ain't know him before this. I think he a lot younger than me, but I really haven't reached out to nobody yet. Everything kind of going crazy right now with my family and stuff like that. Everybody with the congratulations. So I was kind of just going to let it all settle down and stuff before I reached out.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll take three more. Nate Ulrich, Mary Kay, and Scott. Nate, you're first.
Troy, just to go back to those defensive touchdowns last year. I mean, to get 3 in a season, how much pride do you take in that? And do you feel like you got a little momentum there now that you kind of broke through that you can keep it going?
Yeah, definitely. I got to get at the God first, but I mean, I definitely feel like I got a lot of momentum. I always felt like if the ball was in my hand, I'm a natural threat to score ever since I was playing Little League. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to this season and being able to repeat or, even do better than that. So we just grinding right now. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Thanks, Nate. Mary Kay, you're next.
Yeah, Troy, just wondering, now that you are back in this area and you still have so much family in the Youngstown area and how you feel about Youngstown, do you have plans to maybe want to give back to your community or maybe go talk to some schools there and see if you can't kind of help bring up the area a little bit?
Yeah, that's definitely another plan. I really want to open up a school out there and maybe like an all boy or all girl. I kind of really haven't like put it all together, but I wanted to open up a charter school and give back to the community as much as possible. And being close to the city, that's just gonna help me out even a lot more, so I can really see what's going on. I've been gone for 10 plus years, so now that I'm closer to the city, it's like, all right, bet now this is my purpose in a way. I feel like that's one of the purposes that I came back home to, and I feel like I can get a lot of help out there to bring this community back up.
And were you inspired?
I couldn't hear you. I'm
Were
sorry.
you inspired by LeBron opening up a school? Is that something?
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
sorry.
that was
Were,
that was
were
that
you
was big.
inspired by LeBron opening the Crystal?
Yeah, that was big. But I actually I had a teammate out here in LA, his name was Kayvon Webster at the time, and he had opened up a school, and that kind of gave me the idea, like, yeah, that's kind of a dope idea. And then just the more I was out here, and then when I did see LeBron do it for his city, it was like, I felt like that's a purpose for me, because I mean, going back to the city is kind of like, it ain't really a lot going on, and I feel like it needs something. It needed a spark. That's why I feel like I'm there. A spark in the right direction, I should say, in the positive direction.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. We'll close the session with a question from Scott Petrick.
Hey, Troy, you talked about that number one ranked Rams defense. But I want to know exactly what the Browns are getting in John Johnson III.
They getting a hell of a player. Play with passion, heart, can do it all, versatile. I mean, they finna get a hell of a player, and in my opinion, that's the best safety out there. I don't care what nobody say. Just all the things that he's able to do, and I done seen him in adversity or doing things that nobody probably thought that he can do. Like, for example, just a little small thing as far as like communicating all the plays with the defense last year and coming out there playing at a high level, when it's like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever thrown at him, he go out there, he executes. So, I mean, you get a hell of a player in John Johnson and a hell of a human being. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are going to be excited to get him.